subscribe to the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Jr., driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota Nascar Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, this is Dylan Smith. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Amber Colvin. I'd like to thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing this evening. We already have on the line Brodie, where does his name go? Kostecki. I should remember that. I remembered how to pronounce it. We got Brodie Kostecki on the show with us. We got Terry and myself and, of course, Jack Dodson. How's it going, Brodie?
Yeah, it's nice to be with you guys. My first time on a radio show since back from 2011, so yeah, great to be back on a radio station.
Well, we won't tell you that it's really TV though, okay?
Yeah.
We catch everybody like that because they're so used to everybody doing radio shows that we're only one of just maybe a couple of people that do TV.
Yeah.
That way you get to see our smiling faces. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you into racing?
Actually, I started racing when I was about 3 to 4 years old. Racing's been in my family now for around two to three generations. So my dad is a professional drag racer, and he actually came here in America back in the 90s and raced pro stock, and went back to Australia and won a few titles in pro stock. And my dad gave up his career to start mine, and I got a go-kart for my 3rd birthday. And I ran around just around my dad's workshop on the car park, and just having a good time, and until I was old enough to go race on the big tracks. So that kind of started there, and I joined my first go-kart club, which was Tiger Kart Club, and they were really good to everyone. Great series to run, and that really started my racing career, and I just absolutely loved racing. I love the smell of it, I love the culture of it, and I think I'll be in racing for the rest of my life.
Well, what kind of professional racing have you been doing the last couple of years?
I raced go-karts from 7 till I was around 12 years old, and we decided to venture to America, and back in 2011, we ran for Western Speed Racing, a professional, midget and sprint car organization out in California. And I ran the USAC Ford Focus Series from all the way through 2011, and won 4 championships over in California, and won 26 out of 36 main events, and was second in all-time USAC victories in 1 year, second to J.J. Yelling. He had 27. So, we had a really good run that year, and definitely enjoyed racing out in California. So, we went back to Australia for a little bit, and, just kind of had to regroup a little bit, and decided to go up to, come here to Mooresville, North Carolina, and, go through the ranks and start in late models and hopefully progress down to the trucks.
You want to run the UARA circuit this year?
Yes, in fact, last year we ran 8 races in the UARA style series, and we struggled a little bit as far as getting the car right for me as a driver, and just feeling out the car. And my first race I really didn't do so well. Just kind of struggled with the car a little bit, but us as a family and our sponsor Autoweek and LS Steel International, really brought ourselves together, and from there on, we qualified in the top 10 for the rest of the 7 races that I ran. And our last 3 races, we really picked up the pace. And my last race at Rockingham qualified 4th, and finished 3rd out of 30 cars. So our team, or Autoweek, Incorporated, did a really good job as a team. Bringing us together. And this year we have a brand new car coming together for this year, and we hope to try and go for a championship this year and run all 16 races. And we will have our second car. It'll be ran by Brandon White. He's based out in Oregon, and he's another great driver trying to come through the ranks as well. So definitely looking forward to this year, and we'll do the UARA style series, and just can't wait.
Well, is your team is basically your family, or do you have some guys from down in the Mooresville area helping you out?
In fact, our team is actually owned by Autoweek, and my dad actually runs the team. He's got a very good mechanical and engineering background, so it took him a while to understand the car and how it all works and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of took us a while, but it's pretty much a family-based team. I mean, it's only really my dad and maybe 2 other guys that are out in the shop, working on 3 cars at the moment, because we just got a K&N car as well to run the K&N Pro Series East this year as well. We'll probably do around 3 to 4 races. So
you're going to do the East Series? I saw where you may go to do the West Coast Series too.
Yeah, we're currently looking at a few teams out in the West. Might go run some road course races, just to get some experience out on the road course, and might run a few short tracks out there in the West as well.
Well, what was it like to get into these heavier late model stock cars compared to what you used to racing in?
The stock cars, they have basically, a standard weight package from a normal car, and they weigh over 3,000 pounds, so they're a pretty heavy race car compared to what other race cars are out there. So you really have to handle them and force them around the racetrack, because they're so top heavy, compared to other race cars. So it was definitely a really big learning experience. And the late models, they're a little bit underpowered, but they don't weigh as much as the K&N car. So it's going to take it's the next step. The K&N Pro Series is going to be another big step, going from a lightweight car to an even heavy car, with the same brake package. So that's going to be another learning experience for me as a driver and our team.
Or where did you build your own cars, or did you have somebody build them for you?
Well, in fact, we ran a car that we bought secondhand last year. It's a Levitt chassis that it actually was going to run the Denny Hamlin showdown out in Richmond there, but ended up that it got put to the side, and they decided to build a new car. So we basically had a brand new car for last year, but we decided to go with an updated chassis for this year, and because we really want to go for a championship this year and put try earn some respect for me as a driver, and put Autoweek out there as well. So we've been testing a couple times in that car, and it's been really, really good. I mean, I love it as a driver, and our first UARA Styles race is going to be in around 2 to 3 weeks at Kinley. So can't wait for that too.
So on your K&N car, where did you get that one from?
It's actually a Hendrix chassis, and it was actually ran by Chad Boat. He ran back in 2011 with it. So He didn't do too bad with it, so we're going to try to see if we can, work on it. As far as, we're going to be doing a lot of testing this year as well in that car and get it, hopefully get into the top 10 this year and go for a championship in 2014 for the K&N Pro Series and try to run that full time.
All right, who's building your engines and everything for you?
We have, as far as last year, we had Charlie Long building our Ford crates back in 2012 for the late model program. But as far as for this year, it's probably going to end up being my dad. My dad has a really good mechanical engineering background, and he's built a lot of, his own pro stock and drag racing, just a lot of the high-end drag racing teams and all that, my dad's worked on. So we'll be running a in-house engine package now for 2013.
Well, that's a major undertaking on your own to for having an in-house engine program. Where did you race at your races last year in the URA series? Where did you race at?
My first race was at Hickory, and we ran Hickory and Concord, Caraway, and Newport, Tri-County twice, and my last race was Rockingham. So, we ran a variety of tracks, some high banks, some flat tracks, and some, and Rockingham, which is a 1 mile track.
So what was it like to get your first experience at Hickory Speedway?
My first experience was tough. I mean, we really didn't have a lot of testing on the car. In fact, we didn't finish too well. We had problems with, brakes dragging, just, little gremlins that we didn't have enough time just to get out of the car. So we had to take a big step from, going from a 19th place finish out of 30 cars and go to Newport there and qualify 8th, which is a really big jump from, qualifying 26th. So we had a good run at Newport. I was sitting at, 7th place at the time, and a car in front of me had blown an engine, and I was just unfortunate to run through the wall, and I ended up hitting the wall, and it knocked the exhaust off. So I got black flagged, and we had to park for the night. So that was just another disappointment for the team.
So going from a place like Hickory to Rockingham, what kind of adjustment did you have to make with yourself on that one? Because you really had to be in a different frame of mind when you go to a place like Rockingham.
Yeah, I mean, running a late model at Rockingham was actually quite frightening. The cars aren't built, to run that kind of a bigger track. So, I mean, we had problems with, just body panels we had to reinforce, the cars bottoming out, just constantly. So it's definitely a frightening feeling when you go from, running short tracks, for the whole season, and then you go to, a place like Rockingham, which that was my first experience there, and all the other teams and drivers have already ran at Rockingham previously that year. So we qualified well. I mean, we qualified 4th and ended up finishing 3rd in the race, but definitely had a car to win the race. Just still learning through restarts, and kind of lacked a little bit on the last restart, which kind of cost me to contend for the win.
All right, being that you're living in the Mooresville area, have you had any help, talk to any of the drivers from around that area to get information from them, or?
Actually, yes. I've actually been talking to Brian Scott a little bit. He's given me a few pointers about, just about, about this area, and he's helped us, just a little bit just with familiarizing us with this area. So he's been a big help with us. So, but he's actually a neighbor to us. So
Did you, when you were racing in Australia, did you run into Tony Stewart down there when he was running the cars down there?
No, unfortunately, I was actually in America at the time, so I guess we kind of switched airplanes.
He could have taught you a few maneuvers in there with the helmet and stuff.
Yeah, that was actually quite interesting about what happened. You know, I guess he wasn't happy about the track, and the promoter gave him a shot. So it was quite interesting to hear about.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about, thank you sponsors and everything, because and I want to know what Arco Plate is.
Arco Plate, they're actually, they're currently in the mining industry. They make a high dense steel that's known to the mining industry, and what they do is they build this steel and they modify it to where it goes into the back of big Caterpillar dump trucks for the mining industry, the whole gold and just tons of rocks and dirt that weigh tons and tons that have to go in back of dump trucks. And what Arco Plate does is they modify the back of these tubs for these big trucks, and it stops all the rocks and sand and everything wearing out the back of the tub. So they place Arco Plate, which is a form of steel, on, and they layer it in the tub so it stops hang up and drag.
Oh, okay. All right, well, anybody you want to thank your sponsors, everything that's been helping you out?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Arco Plate and Alloy Steel for a great 2012 season. It was definitely a great learning experience, and Folsom Harley Davidson, Michael Thomas and Associates, Polko Oils, which will be on board for 2013, and Turn 1 Power Steering Products. They're coming on board this season as well, and Mount Magnet Drilling, also being a great help throughout, moving from Australia to the United States.
All right, well, it's been good talking to you, and we wish you the best for the coming year. And get in touch with us and let us know how you've been doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys letting me come on the show.
All right, we enjoyed it. Have a good night.
You guys too.
Push speaker button. He's got a little bit of running around back and forth around the globe, hasn't he?
I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna be busy this year if he's gonna run the full URA circuit and the K&N, some K&N races.
Yeah.
But that's where you got to get started. So what's happening now?
Oh, I just realized I sent somebody the wrong time, so I'm trying to get them back up to speed here.
So in the meantime,
Well,
what do you
I
guys
may have
think
just
about the
calling.
the races Monday night and Tuesday night?
I was not impressed. I mean, the late models.
I was impressed with what the
late
officials let go through.
Yeah, but NASCAR not doing anything about that has now set a precedent.
Totally.
And
Totally.
it happened 3 straight races.
I know.
And it was like Joey Logano said last night on the show last night, that the winner of those races only led 4 laps out of the whole race and come from.
Yeah, Steve Park led only the last one.
Yeah,
his was the only one that I was okay with. It was a racing thing. You had 3 cars that all basically got together at the same time, punted the guy up front, and in fact the guy that was in third said he was trying to do it and get underneath, but the car spun out in front of him, and so he had to follow Steve around, so it didn't help him any.
And in the K&N race, Greg got him bonsai'd that turn,
Right.
big time. I mean,
he drove it off in there.
And
yeah, if he hadn't screwed up on that one, his would have been clean. His wasn't that bad.
It was bad enough to spin the guy out in front of him.
Yeah.
Right.
But he just.
But
he got his in the other end on the other end of the track. So, but CE Fault was given a bad deal.
It was totally.
It was a real bad deal.
I was going to try to have him. I didn't know if he was going to be back tonight or not.
He's not back.
Yeah, I know. I was texting. He's still down there. If he was, I'd have had him down there. I almost thought about calling him and having him on the show anyway.
That would have been good. But NASCAR set a bad situation there. They should have.
The phone rings, just hit speaker. It'll be William Long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they got to address that because the fans don't like it. You can't run half the race under caution, and you just can't do it.
Well, the modified cars were not equipped for that type of racetrack.
No.
The way they had it set up, it was pitiful. They have 60, 70 laps under caution.
Right. Right.
So that didn't impress me at all.
Well, late models had at least that much.
Well, yeah, the late models were pretty bad too, but you did have some serious racing in there. But you couldn't even get started good in the. There was 33 modifieds that showed up for that race.
Yeah.
And NASCAR decided, well, we're just going to run them all.
Run all of them.
That track wasn't set for 33 people. 33 cars. I'm sorry, and not that bit, and not that type of car.
No.
Well,
and I wasn't impressed with it.
If the racers had cooler heads and worked at it a little bit better instead of trying to get to the front on the first lap type thing, it probably wouldn't have been so bad.
Well, you're looking at, for the late model race, $15,000, no points. They're shooting for the money. I mean, that's all. That I don't blame them for giving it everything they had.
I mean, the late model drivers, they travel all over after the end of the regular season, going down to Martinsville, heading over to Myrtle Beach, and a lot of these other places at Kinley, and go out there and run big money races.
So yeah, and that's what they're doing, and you just bring back what you got. I mean, but it's pretty bad when it's the first race of the season, and cars that they tore up.
The guy upside down modified, he said, "Well, you pretty much see my whole season." But Terry and I said he probably didn't hurt much of nothing other than just seat metal.
It didn't look like it. It didn't look like it. They might have had some suspension stuff. But his main thing was he's not sure if it damaged anything in the motor or anything like that. Can he afford another motor?
Right.
And that's
true.
You don't know where he stands, and he's not one of your well-funded. And of course, none of the modifieds are really that well-funded teams anyway. But,
yeah, you see all local sponsors on the stuff.
But I tell you, Greg Gauldin, for a 15-year-old kid,
the youngest K&N driver now to date,
and he impressed me with that. Even with that last maneuver at the end, which wasn't, but he was going for the win.
But you know who he drives for, right?
No, I didn't know who.
Kevin Harvick.
Oh, really?
Yep. When he won the Legends National Championship that Christmas, Kevin Harvick only lives a door or two away from him.
Oh, okay.
And he came over and he came with a 5-year agreement.
Well,
that's when he was at 13. So he's been running that Krispy Kreme car. So.
Well, he impressed me with what he did last night. That was. But the type of race course that they had last night with there at Daytona was more conducive to the West Coast drivers, because that's the type of tracks they run on.
Right.
Where you have real speedways here for the regular racetracks for the guys on the East Coast, and that was impressive that what Greg Gauldin did. But I hate it for CE.
I do too.
He's one of my favorites, and I hate to see him get caught up in something like that.
Yeah, he's a good guy too. Yeah.
And he handled himself very well afterwards, which was. I'm not sure I could have done it that way.
He had to have a zen moment with himself.
He was good. I mean, he backed it down and got himself together before he talked.
Yeah, I really think NASCAR's got to get a hold of that, because they're starting to get a real reputation for it being called crash car instead of NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
And sponsors don't like that. The fans get tired of it. If it's going to be WWE, then it's going to be WWE. If it's going to be about talent and driving and competing, that's a different story. So.
For an opening race, for the opening of the season, they tore up some cars. They tore up some cars.
I know.
And,
oh well.
And I know this is a big subject. Danica got the pole.
Yep, Danica with the pole.
You think they?
Somebody can hear you over there.
That's all right. You think they rigged the electronics on it?
I don't think they. I think she.
The car's fast. She's
Well, you came from a stable, Hendricks
All three of
engines,
those cars were
Stewart
fast.
Haas, and during the qualifying, all three of them stayed right there
Right.
at the top for the longest time until Jeff Gordon and
Trevor Bain.
Trevor Bain got in there, and that's the only two that managed to get up in between the top three.
Yeah.
And another Hendrick car. One of them was a Hendrick car.
Yep,
so
one was a Hendrick
you're
car.
looking at all four of those cars for Hendrick
She
engines.
was fourth fastest today in practice today. So.
There wasn't a whole lot going on in practice today. A lot of people didn't get out there
They were
today.
like
They didn't
driving,
wanna
they were
get-
driving like this, like whoa.
Well, I know.
Don't want to mess up their stuff.
I know the Michael Waltrip cars, except Michael Waltrip. I think Michael Waltrip ran most of both practices.
Right.
But the Michael Waltrip cars, they after the first crash where Mark Martin messed up a third car,
Right.
they decided that's it. We're going to pack it up and we're going to learn tomorrow.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yep.
because my son flew down when they qualified and was down there for last week, and then
Right.
he flew back Sunday night and went back this morning
Right.
early to get back in time for the race, and they didn't stay at the racetrack maybe 4 or 5 hours for the whole day.
Well, yeah, they don't have enough cars put together, and it's these cars, they're temperamental. You can tell they're a little temperamental out there.
What I was listening to on the way over here tonight was guys talking about, well, Jamie McMurray was talking about the cars are, he calls them wrecky fast.
Exactly.
I mean, they're just, they're right on the edge,
Right.
and nobody knows. But you see guys like Tony Stewart the other day cut down in front of Marcus or whoever, Greg Biffle or somebody.
Yeah, Marcus
he cut it right across in front of him. And then you had it to happen again today with Ryan Newman cutting
right
across.
here. It's that peripheral left side peripheral
Well,
vision.
right. They say that because now you got the new window net in that corner.
Right.
Plus the harder, well, not the harder, but it's more.
It's a more
Yeah, it's a different type of
net.
It's really tight.
Your view is totally different than what you're used to.
You're not seeing what
Yeah.
you're not seeing exactly what you were used to.
Right.
And they're cutting everybody off.
And you don't have the sound and the feel of the air to that left side too, because you usually feel those cars a little bit sneaking up in there on you.
And Darrell Waltrip today said maybe we ought to increase the size of the spoilers on the or the on the back of them, increase them. And no, don't do that. I mean, it may give them it may make them a little more stable, but I don't see that being an answer to it.
No.
But anyway, it's been an eventful week in Daytona.
Yeah.
I wish I was there. A lot of fun.
Me too.
A lot of fun down there this week.
I'll be at the oyster deck right now.
What you want to go and do that for?
That's where I'll be.
Oysters, hot sauce, and crackers.
Yep.
Where is that place at? That's the.
It's down on the Halifax by the bridge, way down towards Ormond Beach.
On the beach road?
No, it's right there on A1. It splits the peninsula and A1A. It's right between the two, where all the pelicans hang out.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another place.
It's up under the bridge. Is where it is. It's like.
Yeah, there was another place down there called the Deck Down Under.
Exactly.
That's down there
Right.
too. Yeah.
Right.
That's where we went year before last, when we were down there. But then there's another place right on the beach that you're sitting there and you hear the water under you.
Yeah.
But you're in a building. You got
Right.
the beams are there. That was a real. We had Richard Petty was in there with us that night.
Yeah.
And that was.
I love Daytona.
Tapping your foot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it will register.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who we
Go
got?
ahead, just hit speaker and say, "Let's talk racing."
Let's talk racing.
Hey, we have connection now.
Who are we?
This is Bill Long with Michigan Dirt Cup.
Oh goodness, dang! Called in 15 minutes late.
I'm telling you. You gotta love these smartphones.
Yeah, I can fix you up with a better one.
How's it going tonight?
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
Okay, all right. So, and how are you doing? I guess that's all that really matters.
I'm doing good.
So, want to talk some racing, right?
Want to talk some racing. Tell us what's going on with Michigan Dirt Cup.
Well, I tell you what, Michigan Dirt Cup is nothing but excited for 2013. Of course, we have the modified division and the late model division. And, I know the drivers and everybody are pretty excited, the ones that are talking to me. We can't thank them enough for being excited because it only helps our whole program. We're hoping within the next few weeks to set up a meeting so we can have a pre-sign up and to talk about what needs to be talked about, and that is promotions this year. We got to get into promotions.
All right. So, what kind of where are the racetracks that you're running on?
Well, I'm trying to get us get this. Remember, I just said about the smartphone thing. I'm trying to get the phone thing. What we have is we have Mount Pleasant Speedway. You got Winston Speedway. Then I think from there we head over to I-96 Speedway. If you give me a second here, like I said, I'm trying to find the towns. But if anyone goes to MichiganDirtCup.com and go to the schedule, you'll definitely see all the tracks and their locations.
So, what other kind of things you got going on with them this year?
Okay.
What other kind of you're just doing the late models and modifieds?
Yes, the UMP modifieds and the UMP late models. On our modified division, we can have anywhere from 48, 72 cars show up, and they're only transferring 20 cars. So when you talk to the drivers, the biggest thing that they love is they love the fact that making the feature is just to make the feature you've done something.
Along with Michigan Dirt Cup.
Oh, okay.
Not taking anything away from the late models, because the late models are still going to be a good car count in the late models. But when you pull into a track and you can expect up to 72 modified, and these are not, just your average modified. These are the top teams out there. You know what I mean? When they come to play hard, and they're ready to go. So you got to have your stuff together, because you're going to pull into a track and you can have 72 cars knowing only 20 cars are going to make it.
Goodness. So you got a bunch of heat races and everything going on that one.
Well, what we do with that is we do the draw system. And what we try to tell the drivers is we try not to have over 10 cars per heat race. So the farthest back you can start is 10. And then from that, what they'll do is you'll take like the top 4 out of each heat race, and then they make it to the feature. Then of course you'll have, I believe, that we've had up to 3 B features, and you take the top 2 out of each B feature to make your final feature.
Who are some of the drivers that run in this in this Michigan Dirt Cup that that carry some name power with them?
Well, in the modified division, Jacob Poole is actually our 2-time champion. He won it, our first year there, and he won it last year. Now, Jacob Poole, he went down with some other Michigan drivers, and I believe it was down to Volusia for the Gator.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe out of the 92 competitors, he was the only competitor that won 2 features. He's got 2 Gators, and that would be the number 82, Jacob Poole.
Wow.
So he won 2 Gators down there in Florida. Then we had David Milkey went down there. He's a Dirt Cup driver. He's made quite a few features during the week down there. You have Colin Thurlby. Now, Colin Thurlby, he was our first year, the first year we had it. He was our Rookie of the Year. And then last year, Nick Kurtz, young man, he got the Rookie of the Year honors, and he went down to Florida and did an awesome job down in Florida himself.
Well, that's good that you got some people that are going down and making a name elsewhere.
Right. And then you have, I believe Brian Ruhlman has put his name in the hat to run. I'm not sure if he's going to run for the modified and late model. I know he told me he's going to run for the late model championship, but he was down there also in the modified, the Brian Ruhlman, 49.
All right. So.
But what we try to do at Dirt Cup is, and you make a great point when you say that any named drivers. What we try to do is in the Dirt Cup family, when you have 72 competitors, to me, they're all great drivers. Just to be able to stand up and say, I'm going to try to make this feature race. So there's no, say, named drivers. I mean, when the fans come to see it, they know they're coming to see some racing.
Very good. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to get you back next week and talk to you again. We got somebody else on the line right now, so we'll get you back next week and talk to you again.
Okay, all right. Well, please, anybody out there, go to MichiganDirtCup.com, take a peek at our schedule, go to our Facebook, and I'll be looking forward, and I'll be more prepared next week. I apologize for this week.
That's all right. We'll get it all straight next week and give you plenty of time.
I'll take a lesson from Kenny Wallace. I'll take a lesson from him. You know what I mean? So, but I will. We'll be ready to go next week. We'll talk. We'll have our dates for our meetings. And I cannot thank you enough for everything you do with your drivers and the fans out there to talk racing right now, because that's what we need to do. We got to get out there. We got to talk racing and get these fans all pumped up.
I agree with you. Well, we'll talk with you next week.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Hit speaker. Now hit the line that's still there and hit speaker.
Let's talk racing.
How you doing?
All right. How you doing?
Oh, I've been a busy boy lately.
All right. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm in the Le Mans Series since 2007. Well, 6 actually, but 7 I got into GT car back when it was GT2, and started initially in the Viper GT back after many years of being dead, and then in 2008 went to GT1 and was in the GT1 Aston Martin, which is a pretty cool car. Pretty difficult to drive, but it was a good program. Definitely interesting dealing with those guys from England. And then 9 went to LMP1, big jump up, really fast car. And then in 10, 11, 12, and 13, being in LMPC, which is a prototype, basically a P2 car. And I just love that particular chassis and that particular class of the series. So I'm super happy where I'm at. Along the way, made a kind of a leap from driver to team owner, or I guess you could say team partner. Not exactly a leap I wanted to make, but an opportunity presented itself, so I took it and able to harvest a little bit the team and make it, I think, a better place. So, it's been fun. I like the series we're in, and I'm ready for many more years of it.
Now, were you racing for another team a couple of years ago, and then they folded, and then you wound up, your company acquired that team?
Well, what happened was I was racing for Intersport Racing, who was
Johnny and Clint Fields, right?
Johnny and Clint Fields, right?
What's that?
Johnny and Clint Fields?
Yeah, they're very, very old team from the series. They're one of the founding members of the Le Mans series in America. And great group of guys. I really loved them a lot. And they just basically wanted to get out of racing, I think, for a bunch of different reasons. And opportunity presented itself for me to, kind of acquire some of the assets and retain most of the folks that I've been working with the prior years when they owned the team. And so we did that, and then we rebranded everything and formed Merchant Services Racing, which was then called R1 Merchant Services, which is for the 2013 livery. So it's been great. Our second year, having acquired all the assets, and we really like it. I mean, I never thought team ownership was kind of going to be in my ballpark, at least not this young. But it does have its benefits to be able to kind of scale the program the way you want and do that. It's a lot of moving pieces. But luckily, I've got Brian Alder as a good partner, and he really does a great job of running things.
Yeah, it was interesting because the circumstances that I ran into finding you is really strange. I was helping a friend of mine out, Terri O'Connell, and we were looking at trying to get some ALMS racing done, and had been talking to Intersport a couple of years back, and then all of a sudden I went to talk to them last year, and all of a sudden they were gone. And I kept looking and finally found out that your company had bought the assets there, and you were racing with them then. And then to turn around and have my daughter say, "Oh, cool, they're talking about some race car driving around the Kardashians." And so I started to look, and I said, "Hold on, I was trying to get up with him." And it was just so unusual. Now she thinks I like the Kardashians because I've watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's funny how things come around. I mean, that opportunity certainly fell in my lap. I wasn't looking for it, but it turned out pretty cool.
So just out of curiosity, they keep running you through more of the episodes, and you're still going to be more in there, or was it just the 2 or 3 that they had?
No, I mean, it's been already on the air. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's another one, like number 9, where we have this party. And then the cool thing is, the last one, which I think is number 12, is actually filmed at Petite. So they came to Petite, and they were there. There's a bunch of cool drama that happens during that episode, obviously. But then we're going to continue. I mean, we're doing more with them, next season. So they're coming back, and they're going to be doing some more filming and building more stories around, what's happening with racing and getting Scott involved in motorsports and that whole thing. So
is he actually doing pretty good?
Yeah, I mean,
I won't tell him whatever you say.
No, I mean, I'm training him a little bit and, kind of showing him the ropes. And, the kid's got some talent. He really does. I mean, first time we karted together, he showed some good prowess, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
And we did some data overlays just in the go-kart, before we got in the F2000 cars. And we did some data overlays, and he was just remarkably sound. I was shocked. So afterwards, we did a little bit more karting, and I, got in the F2000 cars a little bit, and he did a great job. So I really think that if he wants to continue to pursue it, which he does, he'll do all right.
Cool. Well, he's got somebody that's been out there and done it quite a few laps, so he should have some at least good help from that side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm committed to really help him. We're talking about the 2013 program right now together, and that's going to be interesting. So, I'm totally behind him, helping him, raise sponsorship dollars, get some endorsement deals, and see if we can't put the program together in short order, because it's just around the corner.
Yeah, Sebring's coming up.
So what is your 2013 program for this year?
Same as 2012.
Well,
Back in the PC car. Same car as the last year. Everything's the same, just different color. It's not yellow anymore now; it's blue and orange. But we want to try to fight for a championship. We did really well last year. and then again in 11 we did great, and 10 we did great. And I just think that the PC championship for us is really in the cards, particularly with some of the folks that we got on the team and my teammates. I think that one of the two cars could do it. We run a two-car PC effort for 3 years in a row. And every year we missed the championship, but not by much. We've won a lot of races. We were always talking the points. We're on the podium a lot. I mean, when Kyle Marcelli and I raced together, we actually went back and did the metrics. We actually have a 82% chance of being on the podium. For every time we've driven together, we have 82% chance of being on the podium.
Jeez.
So, we've just had some, in 2012, we just had some really crappy luck. I mean, just stupid stuff. I mean, 12 hours of Sebring last year, we were leading, and, basically the entire race, and like a brake rotor exploded, and we still went behind the wall. We still ended up getting fourth, but, just silly stuff. I mean, Laguna again last year, Kyle was leading, and he got pushed off the track like last lap. Just like silly things like this that I think cost us the championship last year. And then 2011, it was just kind of like just pretty elusive as well. So I think 13 is going to be our year to really get the championship. I think we can do it. I think we've got all the bad luck out of the way, and we're not like scrambling, with the program like we have been in years past. I think we're pretty well sorted with that program. Definitely got good driver lineup, good equipment. So we're due for a championship. I mean, I really feel very confident that we're going to have a good shot at it this year.
That's great. That's great. Now, you and I have been emailing back and forth, and you've gave me a nice little short list of all the stuff you got going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how's your wife's book coming along?
It's great. It's done. It's really going to be, I think, great for the sport. Not only for the Le Mans series and sports cars in general, but I think it's going to be great for all racing because, I mean, let's face it, there's never really been a good fiction novel written about motorsports. And she's been working on it for 3 years, long before we did all the TV show stuff. And it's evolved into something that's going to be fun to read. It's going to get the male audience because, it's got a lot of action and drama. It's going to get to all the diehard race fans because all of the stuff in the book is relevant and it's accurate. And it makes sense because I've proofread a lot of it, and, she's come to all the races and, even just little details like undulations in this track surface and, how many stripes in the apex curving and, brake markers, little things that only drivers would know.
Right.
They're 100% accurate. So I think that's really going to, get the eyes of the true race fans, because and drivers and people involved in motorsports generally, they're going to read it and go, wow, this is accurate. So we're going to get those guys, and I think we're going to get the female demographic as well because it's written by a woman, but at the end of the day, there's a little bit of a underlying, I guess you could say, love story between the main character who's a driver and just beat like a female heroine.
Oh.
He's in the hospital when he breaks his leg. So, got that. We got a lot of elements there going for it. So it's, I think it's been pretty well received, and we're, we really want to make a big push, to launch it. It's like I had got a soft launch already. We'll do a real formal launch at 12 Hours Sebring this year. So we'll have ebooks and physical hard copies to sell.
Cool. Now, now something else I want to ask you about Pistol Pay. What is that supposed to be?
It's a payment gateway. So, for example, right now, if you're buying anything of value on the internet, you've got to basically send the money to somebody and then hope that they send you the product.
Right.
And then furthermore, you've got to hope that when the product arrives, it actually is what it's supposed to be. So,
and that it's working.
And then it's working. So let's just take an example, right? Everybody listening is a car fan. You're a car fan. So let's say you want to buy a 1965 Corvette, right?
Okay.
And you find the perfect car, and it's in Wisconsin, and you're in Florida. So you find the car on however you find Pendings or Auto Trader or eBay or whatever, and you look at it. You know, you call the guy, send you photographs, and you send you copies of the title and all this stuff, and you get a good feeling with him over the phone that it is what it's supposed to be. So what do? You wire the guy $50,000, and he puts the car in a truck, and he sends it to you. That's how it goes down today. It's literally. That's how it happens.
Right.
Well, how comfortable are you when you wire that guy the money? You're not comfortable, until the car arrives. And when it arrives, and you're still not comfortable because you got to make sure it's shaken down and it's proper. So with our system, send the money to us, send it to Pistol Pay, and now that seller, they comfort in the fact that, okay, a financial institution is holding his funds, he can ship the product or the vehicle to this address, which we provide him, which you provided to us. So when it arrives, you then send a message to us saying, you're happy or you're not happy. If you say you're happy, we send a message back to Sarah saying, product's been approved, and we release his money. So it's an online payment gateway for goods and services of value. So we're focusing on the car market, firearm market, the diamond market, the commodities market, any market that has value, high ticket items that people want to buy over the internet but aren't really comfortable with the way the transaction goes down right now. So it's a relatively new company. It's grown out of the infrastructure and the financial institution that is merchant services, and it's been met with good success and a lot of customer satisfaction just in our short tenure. So we're really excited to make that company grow much more in 2013.
Cool. Now, are you treating it basically like escrow, or to that extent, is what you're talking about?
It's kind of. Yeah, it's got like an escrow type of feature, I guess you could say. But what we are is we're a third party intermediary for electronic commerce. Is actually
okay.
What we do. And we've got some very interesting patents surrounding that concept and what we do. And I think that it's going to be very widely accepted and change the way commerce is done on the internet. Because if you think about it, if you go to a store and you buy anything, let's say you walk into Target and you buy a jacket, right?
Right.
Well, you take the jacket off the rack, you touch it, you feel it, you try it on, you like it, and you're happy with it. And you walk to the register, and you don't part with your money until you're happy with the product and it's in your possession. So why should that customer experience be any different on the internet?
Right.
Why should you send your money to some dude you don't know selling something and pray to God he sends you what you're supposed to get? Maybe he should send it to you. And if you like it, you're happy, you pay him. Same concept with sitting in a restaurant. Sit down in a restaurant, you order the meal. You don't order the meal, do you?
Right.
So we're kind of changing the game a little bit on the internet and leveling the playing field for buyers and sellers. So it's a very exciting company. I do think it's going to be a big game changer and well received.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there and say you being like a PayPal or something like that, because it sounded like it was something totally different, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, I think it's going to be a much better alternative to the payment systems that are out there.
Well, good. It's nice that you're going to be able to provide a different service. I haven't heard of anything like that actually myself. So, and I do a lot of buying and selling, whether off eBay or other places on the internet. But then again, I don't go out and buy 53 Corvettes.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't heard of anything like this. Doesn't exist. I mean, it's a completely new and patented concept. And you know, I'd love for you to try it out. You know, we'd be happy to comp you a transaction for a certain amount, just so you get the feel of it. And I really think you'll like the user experience.
Cool. Hey, we should get that as a sponsor on one of our race teams.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in motorsports. We were in the car last year.
Cool.
And you know, I sponsor a lot of up and coming young drivers too, through Merchant Services. We've got what we call a driver development program.
Uh-huh.
And what we do is it's kind of a business to business situation where the drivers will effectively bring us business, and what we do is we pay back the profits of the business that they have brought to us to a racing team of their choosing.
Right.
And they're all in a 10-year deal. So I'd say one of our big success stories is Connor Daly. You know, we've been sponsoring Connor for a long time, probably since 2007 or something. He was just out of go-karts.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, we've been with him and been funding his program through go-karts, through Skip Barber, Star Mazda, GP3, Indy Lights, the whole 9 yards. And it's a good sponsorship program because what it is it's scalable. You know, it's obviously Connor. We weren't funding Connor what we're funding him today when he was, you know, in Star Mazda. Well, why? Not because the budgets are any bigger, but because he has been able to grow his business-to-business relationships with Merchant Services over the years.
Huh.
So the big kind of like, you know, in the budget that we can fund him is unlimited. But the cool thing about it is he puts on business with Merchant Services through our, you know, our referral program, and let's say he gets 20 new clients that we do business with in 2008, right? So he knows that starting in 2009 he'll have X revenue from those clients, and then during 2009 he puts on 50 new clients, and then he knows that starting in 2010 he'll have at least revenue from now 70 clients, and it just keeps growing. So the cool thing about the program is, and the reason why we like to embrace young drivers is because it's scalable and it's also money that young drivers count on from year to year. Because what does every young driver do? They go out and they try to get sponsorship, and they work their butts off, they get a sponsor, and they get it through the year, and then the next year comes, and what happens? The sponsor's gone, and they got to chase their tail and get another sponsor.
Yeah.
We want to provide a stable means of income so drivers can depend on this to build their budget. Even if they can't build their whole budget, at least they know that, you know what, I can count on X dollars for Merchant Service no matter what. Even if I don't get any more sponsors, I know that I have Merchant Service. And they don't have to do anything to get it other than just bring us business. And once they bring us business, it's there forever. I mean, Connor paid on deals, you know, he brought in 6 years ago. So as long as these people are doing business with him, we're paying. So it's a cool program, and it really, really works well. And you know, it's not like we're reinventing the wheel. We've got about 10 guys in the program, myself included, and it's great. You know, what we like to do is like expand the program to other forms of motorsports that we're not in. I mean, we're in Star Mazda, we're in GP3, we're in Le Mans Series, we're in Rolex. We've got a toe in the water Indy car, but we'd like to be in other places. We'd like to be in, you know, dirt track stuff. We'd like to be in late model stuff. We'd like to be in motorcycles. We'd like to be in all just any driver. You got to be going some places. You got to be quick, and you also have to have, the right sort of network to fit within our business model. And if it works, we're open to talking to people.
Huh. Well, I might have to send you a few people because, of course, with us talking to all the different people we do, whether it's in NASCAR, whether it's in dirt, whether it's motorcycle, whether it's LMS, anyone, we try not to stay mostly with stock car type because we like to get out and get other people. We've even had people on here to do racing, riding lawnmowers. Okay.
Right. Oh yeah.
Those guys are crazy.
Man, I just got wheels. I drive it.
You sound like Mark Martin, or Tony Stewart, or Terri O'Connell, or Kyle Larson. Hey, by the way, did you watch any of the stuff down in Daytona last night?
No, I didn't. I was on a kind of a late business dinner deal that I didn't get to see it though.
Do you get a chance to watch NASCAR much, or do you take and try to keep mostly with what you've got going on with your racing?
I watch a lot of what we do. I watch a little bit of NASCAR, but I watch a ton of Formula One, like religiously. I know that sport inside and out.
Have you heard anything new? Because last I heard, Speed Channel is not going to do Formula One anymore.
NBC.
They're not.
NBC is going to be doing it.
Right.
Yep. It was Speed's last year in 2012. Whether or not Barsha goes with to the new network still remains to be seen. But I doubt it's going to happen because he's kind of like a Speed guy. And he does other stuff for Speed, like Jackson and stuff. So, anyway.
Yeah, I tell you what, trying to get those guys and get up with them, oh my God. I had one guy, I tried for 3 months. We kept going back and forth, and he would wind up having to go somewhere and then go somewhere else. And just trying to get him to where he had enough time free to do it. And with the time differential was really crazy being over in the Europe area.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I was speaking to Connor this morning, actually. He's in Portugal testing. And I called him at like 6 p.m. He's sleeping.
Yeah, I've got people I talk to over in Japan, and I tell you 14 hours or 15 hours, it drives people crazy trying to, okay, can I call them yet?
That's the way me and Catherine were.
Yeah.
We're always on different times.
Yeah, Catherine Legg.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if you can hear Terry in the background or not.
Yeah, no, not really.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was talking about trying to keep up with Catherine Legg. They've tried to do some stuff before together, and she says trying to keep up with that girl is just as bad.
Yeah, we never could get on the same time.
Same time, yeah.
Actually, we were working with Johnny Clint Fields for that deal.
And she said they were working with Johnny and Clint Fields back then, trying to work up something, the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Clint telling me something about working with Catherine a couple of years back, yeah.
Yeah, they were going to put together a 2-girl team or possibly a 4-girl team for some other stuff, too.
Yeah, Sebring,
right. Things like that. But anywho. So what else you got going on tonight?
I got believe it or not, I got another conference call with some guys in California, talking about some merchant processing business. And that's it. I'm at dinner with my wife and go to bed really early because I got a big day tomorrow.
Well, are you calling us from Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
Okay, well, geez, you're bad as I am. Well, Wednesday nights we always do a late supper anyway. We take all our guests out to eat. So sometimes you'll have to come here and we'll take you out.
Where are you guys located?
In Hampton, Virginia, down from Langley Speedway.
Oh, great. Good deal.
So we're in a little bit of historical area, whether it's racing or whether it's NASA or whether it's back in Civil War and everything else. Geez, Battle of Yorktown just down the street. All that good stuff.
Cool. Well, good deal, man. Well, I will certainly catch up with you, and I'll coordinate with you guys on my schedule and some updates of what's happening with the television world and as things evolve with our 2013 program. And we've got some announcements that are going to be coming probably in the next week or two.
Cool.
I can't say too much about them yet, but I will certainly send you the press releases.
Well, you can tell me. We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, sure.
The number you called, is that one a good one to text you on?
Yeah, this is my cell phone, yeah.
Okay. So if I need to throw something at you, I can.
Yeah, no problem. You can buzz me anytime. And if you guys are at any of the venues like Sebring or 6 Hours Laguna or anything, feel free to come by the truck, hang out, and we'll chat.
Can I drive the car?
What's that?
Can I drive the car?
I don't know, man.
For me, it'll be a tight fit. I hate to say.
You got to fit.
I tell you what, I used to fit in my late model without any problem.
Mm-hmm.
Those things I could fit in. Those little skinny things you guys drive in, woo.
Pretty tight. I made state seat actually this year. So I'm like the quote unquote biggest driver. All my teammates are, like 5'5" and like $140.
Jeez. Back when I was doing good, I'm 5'8" and I was running about 170.
Yeah, I mean, it really weight in racing, I think, is an advantage because it makes a big difference. I mean, one guy weighs 50 pounds more than the next guy, and that's a lot of weight. It makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, weight is speed.
Absolutely.
In fact, we were listening to NASCAR. They were fussing, or not NASCAR, but some of the people were fussing about with the qualifying at Daytona. Danica Patrick had qualified on the pole, and everybody was saying, well, is she even 100 pounds? And all the other guys are 160, 170 on up.
Yeah.
And the cars all are supposed to weigh the same.
Yeah, but I don't know if they have minimum weights though.
Yes.
I think they have minimum weight for cars, but the driver, that's an advantage right there.
Oh yeah, they definitely. There's a minimum weight limit to the car. You can go as heavy as you want, but they do have that lower limit there to keep everybody honest. But like I said, you throw a lightweight driver in there, they're going to go faster.
Yeah, I'd love to see her win it. That'd be awesome. It's so sweet she got bold.
Yeah, it would be definitely some more history being made.
About 1,000,000 to 1.
We've got odds out here, 1,000,000 to 1 already. All right. We'll go ahead and let you get going. Go ahead and do a thank out to your sponsors here that you got to help you out, and we'll get back up with you for sure. And I didn't say anything about the oranges.
All right. Yeah, I want to thank Merchant Services and Pistol Pay, and also want to encourage everybody to go for sure check out my wife's book at nakedpaddock.com. You can get an ebook or a hard copy, and you will enjoy it.
Cool. We will catch you next time on the show.
All right, take care.
All right, have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
A man of many things.
You see the list?
I know.
Oh, I sent him a list too of what all I had to do. So he said, "Okay, here's yours." Let's see right here. Let's see. No, let's see. That was his. Oh, here it is. He gave me 9. I gave him 10. Anywho, oh god. Now he's and I don't know if you heard me talking to him earlier while he was waiting. The Kardashian show he's on. I asked him. I said, "Was that you, the one?" They showed somebody stuffing oranges down the front of their bathing suit, getting ready to jump in the pool. And I asked him, "Was that really you?" He says, "Yes. They made me do it."
Oh man.
I started to say, "Yeah. Attention is attention, whatever it takes." But he's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god. Let's see. Usually when you're checking the channels and you read the description, One of them is something about putting breast milk on psoriasis. The other one is about somebody's 50 plus on the baby thing. The other one was boat racing or rowboat racing or something like that. So they've just been recently on. So
I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that.
oh God.
All rocket science stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez, crazy
Right.
stuff. So what else you think about what's going to be happening at the days for the Daytona race? There was something I saw about Timothy Peters, and I didn't catch it earlier today. It was on the bottom thing flying across
The
on
feeder, yeah.
Speed Channel
The
during the practice.
I don't know. I think tomorrow will be really, really interesting because the cars are loose. We like that,
Wicked loose.
but it's going to separate the do's and the don'ts and the kind of sorters tomorrow. It's going to be really interesting to see what Danica does because she hadn't been out there doing that, and she's going to be right in the middle of it.
And she can't afford to damage the car.
No.
So
because they want her
it's gonna be
starting,
tough.
right?
It's gonna
And
be
NASCAR,
tough.
yeah, NASCAR wants her to start on the pole. So they've kind of got their eggs in that basket. And but it's going to be, how many crashes tomorrow? Potential for that.
There's going to be some crashing tomorrow.
Yeah. Who's going to make it? Who's going to make it?
Yeah. If I was her, run a lap, just go ahead and pull on off.
Take the heat and be done with it.
Yeah, I mean you're already on the pole. Why you want to mess up the car?
But the thing about her, she's kind of in a box because she's got to get some seat time.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to just ride around out there. On Sunday, she's going to
Well, she's got Tony right behind her.
Right.
So get her out there, get her out front for a little while, and then maybe just
park it.
Yeah, she'll have Tony and Ryan right behind her to help her out.
Ryan is in the other race.
Oh yeah, in the duels. Okay, yeah.
He's in the other race, but Tony is starting third in this race.
Yeah.
With her tomorrow.
Right.
So
they'll probably team up, and she'll probably do the pushing. Get him out.
Well, they can't get to the other cars. That's the problem they're having.
It's that air thing right between the cars. It's kind of like sponges.
Well, they say it's like a pocket of air between them.
Yeah.
They can get right to it.
Well, you can use that pocket, make it more dense, and use it for pushing the car.
Well, you can,
but
they also say that depending on how you do it,
right,
it sends you backwards.
Right. It's almost like they're kind of like a sponge pocket. But when you get up there, it kind of like pushes you back, and they can't get to the back bumper to really do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And Ryan Newman said that he's not even sure how the wind is blowing out there, how it's working, because it just blew his car around today. When they went up beside of him, it just blew him around.
Yeah. Well, Tony's got the side drafting down though. He's been working that pretty good.
Well, we'll see how this works today. Well, it works tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's is the real deal. Yeah.
And your boy Brian Keselowski, he's had nothing but problems since he's been there. I talked to them the other day.
ECU was bad or something,
and then today they just could not get. I mean, they're like 12 miles an hour slower than everybody else.
God, they were off by 6. Now they're off by 12.
So they're having a hard time.
Fly me down there. I'll help get that electronic straightened out.
Well, if you tell them that, get them down, get you down there.
Where's my phone? I'll text him. I'll call him.
But it'll be fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the racing tomorrow. Looking forward to the 500.
The snooze 100.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be too much snoozing this year or not. I'm thinking if they get in that group and they start running, like they're supposed to.
Terri will tell you. We watched the ARCA race. I think I got halfway through, and then my head leaned over, and she heard nothing but snores out of me, probably.
Well, that ARCA race was pretty decent, but it was a
glad to see
ride along program there for that too.
Glad to see Robert Richardson's going to be running the nationwide.
Yes.
Was it Stalk It or something like that?
I saw it the other day, and I don't remember what it was. And him and his crew chief. were talking about that the other day on TV.
Yeah. Well, are we pretty much got it all wound out?
I think so.
Close it on down. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching us tonight, joining in, listening to our guest, and learning out a few new things. Those of you that are used to being in the NASCAR world, we put you in the ALMS world. It's always good to do. Learn a little bit about everything. Education is never a bad thing, as long as you're learning.
Well, I learned something tonight.
What was that?
Huh? That guy's got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, gosh. All right, everybody, we'll see y'all next week. See ya. Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye, Terry.
Ciao.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bayne, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Here's your 2011 champion, David Brown.
Hi, this is David Flens, driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway Track Champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driver 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle State